I'm trying to see if I can go to my hotspot because I'm wondering if it's just dropping out. It's a bit glitchy. Seems like now you're frozen again. Can you see and hear? I can see and hear you. Wow. Okay. Thanks for your patience.
You on your phone number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try and start again.
If you hear this, we're going to email you a recording of this. We'll send it to you. If we can't, if it's not transmitting as perfectly as we'd like to live. But anyway,
start again.
Let's start again. Cool. Right. Yes, we are here to basically talk to you about a recent post that Lawrence put out there around the happiness trap. One of the challenges that we found with running the Happy Startup School is trying to get people to understand how they relate to this thing about making happiness your business model, to running businesses and the challenges around that, as well as finding kind of fulfillment in your work. So this post has resonated quite a lot of people, and I think we're going to try to get more thinking behind it and the model that we're trying to create for you guys to get on board and realize how you can make changes in your life to build, basically, do good and be happy at the same time.
Sounds simple, doesn't it?
Totally simple, very, very easy.
It's one of becomes clear. It's one of those aha. Okay, this is really simple. Like we spent 5 years at the Happy Startup School trying to understand, I guess, how we can help more people, but also like trying to understand that already. Whilst we're called the Happy Startup School, a lot of the work we do is around new ideas and entrepreneurship. But equally, we have a big chunk of people community to the philosophy and ethos of it, and we're not going to exclude because they're a huge part of the community, but also not necessarily looking to start a business. Maybe they're running a business that's been going for a long time, or maybe they are part of the company and they're trying to do work that matters to them, or lead a team in a way that they feel is aligned to their values. So I think this model kind of clicked for us because it kind of made sense in terms of we're all trying to make positive changes in some small way. So more impactful work, it could be to do something that's more true to who we are, trying to balance work and well-being and family and all the other commitments we have. Or it could be that we're a slave to the cause of the work we're trying to do. Lost the kind of passion for it, or maybe never even had that. Or we really struggle with the money side, which we see a lot of people do, is that they're really passionate about what they're doing, but they've maybe got some limiting beliefs around money, and it's this idea that you either do good or make money, and there's no kind of in between. And what we've proven and have shown through our community is that actually there's an awful lot of people and companies out there who are really successfully. And so that's kind of how this came about, was how can we find a sweeter, better balance between impact, what gives us energy, our well-being and happiness, as well as what pays the bills and brings in money to keep these things sustainable.
Cool. So I think it's one of the challenges is for people to identify where they're at. What's the starting point for their journey, so that they know what steps do I need to take place. So I think what we're going to try and do is think some starting points of where people are, and then give you some indicators of what you can do next in terms of moving forward.
Yeah, so we're just going to bring up some slides so you don't have to look at our ugly monks for too long. And this is just really, I guess, a visual way to highlight the kind of, I guess, the model we're talking about here. So if you want to look clever in a meeting, they always say designer. So this is us looking clever, but hopefully you get something from this. Again, we're calling this the happiness trap because it's this idea that you either do good or make money, that you can't do both. And really, it's for us to understand where you sit on chart, if you call it. There's some people who are, like I said, great at making money, but not so sure about what it is that they want to bring to the world that gives them some meaning. There's also lots of other people who are great at doing the kind of more struggle with the money. So what we would love to know, how does this sort of align with you? Which of these best describes you? Are you great at making money? Are you working with purpose? Are you doing what you love? Are you doing all of these things or none of them? Because then it will help you understand any blind spots that you do have, and then hopefully make positive changes towards a better balance. So let's start with these guys. This is what we call the rat races. And these are people, and we've been there ourselves in the past. Me, after finishing uni, I worked in the City of London for like a year. And I was, I guess, using the skills that I learned over the years of being in the education system, and making money, but just wasn't feeding my soul, wasn't giving me any sense of contribution, well-being, or even happiness. And so we meet an awful lot of people like this who are either stuck in the corporate world, sometimes even stuck in companies that they've created where they're making money and doing well and it's growing, but actually there's something missing, right? There's something that's not quite there. And so if you're in this group of people, understanding what it is you can do to bring more passion and purpose to your work. Now that could be better understanding yourself, maybe some exercises that are mentioned in the blog post around understanding your values and what's important to you. I hope you guys can see the slides. I think the slides aren't working.
No.
Oh, that's annoying. Okay, another Crowdcast fail. That's the same for everyone?
I think a few people have had that experience. They're not seeing the slides. They're just seeing.
Okay. Can you see the video now, or is it just a black box generally?
The video's coming up. It just kind of like it freezes, I think.
Okay.
So not the best optimized live stream, but they can. Yeah, there you go. It's coming up. So probably best to just talk to screen.
Okay. So anyway, if you heard any of that, good luck to you. Sounds like most people didn't. But I was just trying to explain the idea that you're great at making money, but you're struggling with the other stuff. Then it's about understanding yourself better, your values, what's important to you, what it is you need from work in your business. If you're business, a lot of people start business with an idea, but don't actually really understand what's driving them personally. And so, about yourself and what it is that you want to bring to the world and what you want to get from work will help you to navigate that better, as well as how you can be in service of others. So like how you can bring more purpose to your work. So it's not just about you and what you want, but what you can do to help other people. So using your talents and gift. Can't just hear what's happening, people. So the next thing is the purpose seeker. So this would be someone who's really good at making money, has managed to find something that they love doing, but again, sometimes that doesn't just give you what you want from work. You're feeling not about anyone else. And what we found is like by really understanding other people and how you can create some impact in their world gives you a lot more fulfillment and happiness than just it's all about yourself. So with these people, it's tending to be, again, understanding what you can do with your gifts and your talents. So maybe you've got a business and maybe you can apply it to something that's a real problem in the world that you can address. Yeah, what makes you angry? Yeah, we talk about that a lot on our homeschool course, which is what frustrates you from, not just like doing what you love, but actually finding a problem that you really care about that you want.
One of the action for happiness, one of the 10 keys for happiness is if you look at the 10 keys, that's an interesting way to find out how they talk about happiness. But connecting with others, people forget how important that is and how much energy you can get. And that's why when we do our retreats and we do our events like summer camp, people just come away so super buzzing because of that connection. And if you can introduce that into your work, then that's a part of addressing the purpose seeker side of the challenge.
Yeah. And so there's two other types of people that we come across. I'm conscious of time because I'll take issues briefly and then we can talk a little bit more about how you can navigate your way out of these things. Slave, someone who's managed to find something that they care about, so a purpose or a calling that they're working to, and they manage to make a living out of it, but maybe they've just been putting almost, they're so purpose driven that sort of either their own well-being, maybe they're feeling who intense livelihood, and so actually at some point you're going to run out of fuel. It's very noble to be like that and to kind of put other people's pain at the heart of your venture. But what we found is, if you do that, then actually it doesn't help the people that you're trying to help. It's a very short-term way of thinking about things.
I think you don't necessarily have to be in the kind of the social entrepreneurship world as well. There are founders, there are business owners out there who are businesses, create the beast, make sure people are getting their paychecks every month, but forgetting why they're doing it in the first place and actually build themselves.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of actually how do you serve yourself as well as serve the business? Because if you don't serve yourself, you're going to burn out and you won't be able to actually keep business going.
Exactly. We're getting lots of people saying they can't hear us or see us, so we're just going to plow on, and then I think we'll reshoot this again and put it out to everyone. So if you're watching this on Facebook and you're not on Crowdcast, then please leave your email on the feed so we can get back to you with the recording. Again, on YouTube, the same thing. So apologies for that. It's off on the Crowdcast, and it's not a great one. So I'm not sure if it's the connection, the technology, or just something in the ether that's not aligning. The final type of people that we come across is what we call the idealist. So this will be is, I guess, got loads of passion and purpose in their work, but really struggles with the money side of things. They often have what we found quite a negative relationship to money. They're very driven by something they care about. Money as being something evil or something dirty, and something that you look at where money takes people. So the big corporate companies, or the whole financial crisis stemmed from greed, and a lot of people in this segment tend to see money as a bad thing. Money is a good thing for your venture and anything that you're trying to do, because it will give you more fuel for your.
Yeah, money is it isn't the thing. I think when it becomes the only thing, it becomes a challenge. I think one thing that helps is knowing what is it you want, what things do you want to create for yourself. So and then seeing what money you need to make that happen, rather than I need to accumulate money for money's sake.
Exactly. And so I work for the people in this area, understanding that they've maybe got some limiting beliefs around money, that actually, if they break through that, then they can embrace more of the entrepreneurial mindset in terms of how can I think like an entrepreneur and hustle a bit more and try and get money for my business. Because then that way you'll be able to make more impact. Or it could be understanding more about pricing, business models, and or more of the business side of things, so they can actually apply those things to their sort of impact. And then that way you get the best of both worlds. You get that kind of hustle that you might have for an entrepreneur, aligned with someone who's really driven by a really great combination if you can make it work. Okay, so I think in the last, 8 or 9 minutes or so, just wanted to talk quickly around some of the challenges people face trying to navigate to a healthier balance. Talking about this stuff's easy. Well, actually not in this case, but trying to talk about this stuff is easy. Putting together models isn't going to. What changes things is people's behavior, right? And so one of the challenges that we've seen people when they try find a happier path is that actually it can be quite lonely. So actually, if you're in a job you hate but you're getting paid well, then people around you are like, why would you want to leave your well-paid job if there's no need to change? But deep inside you might be feeling really shallow and there's a need. It could be that you want to start a business or start a social enterprise, and people around you are kind of naysayers and put you off doing that. So it can feel quite lonely, and so I guess our community's really helped a lot of people who are unsure to then make that leap, because they've seen lots of other people who maybe are a little bit crazy too. I think the other thing is being able to say no. So I think we probably had this when we were running the agency. We ran an agency before we started the Happy Startup School, and you have these ideals about how you want to run your business, but then when money comes on the table and there's a project there that's going to pay the bills for the next 6 months, understanding what you say yes and no to is a massive shift if you're going to sort of get on a happier path. One thing that I guess being part of our community can help you do is really to understand what it do to be able to say no more. And so really it's about understanding what's important to you, understanding your limits in terms of the work you want to do, the people you're going to work with, the kind of projects you want to do, but also what you need in terms of running your life, running your business. So knowing your why, I guess, knowing your why for why you want to take on a project or say yes or no to is really important. And I guess the final piece is just around resilience. From a lot of them felt like them and those challenging this across growth. Resilient, more thick skin, something that will help you not just now but going forward too.
And I think all of this boils down to clarity. You know, if you're clear about where you want to go, and if you're clear about what's important to you, all this stuff starts to fit into place, and that's kind of the mission that we're on with the community, helping you get that clarity.
Exactly. So we've got minutes left before we have to depart. I know a lot of you have pretty given up by now, so apologies for that. So I just wanted to maybe, do you want to talk a little bit more about, I guess, yeah, how we've seen people navigate their way out of some of this stuff through our community.
So making change of any sort, particularly if you're surrounded by people who don't necessarily see the world that you do, the way you do, that can be really difficult. And it's having that kind of support network, those cheerleaders around you, people who have the similar kind of values, but then really push you forward to actually making that real change. We needed that when we started our business. We created it, and so we made it for ourselves. And this is what the Happy Startup School is about. We wanted to create a business, but it wasn't just about make sure that what we did made us and we enjoyed what we did and when we did it, rather than just looking for this future goal of an exit or lots of money at some point. So we're creating courses, content, events, live webinars like this when they work, but to help to inspire you to make change, but then also to empower you, to give you the tools and the knowledge and the tactics to start making businesses that you think, what you say and what you do. And finally, we know that doing this on your own is really hard. And so if you can connect wherever you are across the world to people that think the same way that you do, and actually have your best, rather than just thinking of you as another like on their post or another connection, actually what you do, then this is the kind of community you want to join. So this isn't just about leveling up in terms of business. This is actually feeling like a strong sense of connection to a global community. That isn't just a one-time fix. This is going to be something that we believe is going to benefit you for life, and something you should get on board.
Yeah, so great. Really, partly an antidote to the existing business networks and schools that existed, but also I think more than it was just for ourselves. Really, like we didn't feel at home in other part of, particularly business communities at the time. This community was really born out of our friendship and the friendships of other founders we met who were aligned in our thinking. And luckily we're in a town, Brighton, that's very forward thinking in terms of how and why people want to do business. And so organic growth, 5 years on, to a global community of people, and yeah, all sorts of experiences that we've got all around the world, which would benefit us. So I guess we're living proof that, you know, this isn't so yeah, if you're really interested in finding out more, if you're not already a member, if you go to www.happystartups.co, there's a page there with information about the community, our new app, which we're really excited about, which brings all the work we do together, from the events live and offline, and all the resources we've built up over the last few years, as well as just a great group of people who are there to support you. So one thing we're keen to do more is for people to develop the behaviour of asking for help. So this isn't the easiest path to take, but one that if you are willing to put your hand up and admit you don't know it all, then the support steps forward, you know, tenfold. And we found that ourselves whenever we've, I guess, you know, admitted to it, then it's come forward to us. So we encourage you to do the same.
Cool. So yes, hopefully some of that has gone through. If you persevered, thank you very much for staying. So you can actually follow this in a bit more comfort. But again,
Thank you.
and we will do this again, but on different technology.
And a lot more sick. Thanks, guys.